Hey friends, welcome back. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel here. Today, I kind of want to do something a little bit different. I've been doing a lot of flying with the 350QX, getting a lot of really cool aerial footage, doing some different projects for friends, and really getting into the filming, and that's well and good. But there's an aspect of the filming that you can't really get with a quadcopter or an aerial platform, and that's the low end, close, tight shots. So I've been kind of doing a little bit of thinking and decided to build a handheld gimbal unit, and had planned on using the gimbal for the 350QX here. So what I ended up doing was building a little prototype, this guy right here. So this is actually, I purchased another gimbal mount for the GB200 gimbal for the 350QX because it's a quick disconnect. The gimbal actually slides on and off of the mount. And then used a spray paint rattle can gun. A little bit modified, of course. I actually got this all together and then realized that there wasn't really any place for a battery mount. It was just kind of, it was nice to hold, easy to kind of point and shoot. It didn't have the feel that I really wanted, out of a handheld gimbal. Was just kind of crap. So tossed that off to the side and went with a more standard handheld gimbal setup, but made it all really cheap. So what we ended up with is this unit right here, and this is a really inexpensive setup. Aside from the gimbal and the GoPro, you're probably looking at maybe $30 to build this gimbal setup. One thing while I was planning this, I was still planning on using the GB200 gimbal because it's light and interchangeable from the easily take it off the quad, put it on this system. And then I got to thinking it would be nice to be able to use both at the same time, because I do have two GoPros, and in my parts bin I came across this guy right here, and this is the Taro 2D GoPro gimbal. I had purchased it from a buddy who had a 3DR Iris, crashed the hell out of it, and I bought all the Iris parts mainly because I wanted the gimbal. Could never really get it to work right, and so I just kind of swept it aside. Building the handheld, I came back across it, went through the steps to get it to work properly, and decided to use it on this system. So now, if I'm flying, I can use, or if I'm flying, somebody else can use the handheld at the same time and get some cool footage, dual shots, whatever. So I'm going to go through this fairly briefly. There's not a whole lot to it. Like I say, it's a simple build. So let's dive right in. The main housing right here is an electrical junction box. It's got 1/2 inch ports on either side, and it has a watertight box or lid on it. The handles are 1/2 inch sprinkler PVC pipe. Exactly what you would use to do sprinklers in your front yard. The hand grips, those are actually Bell bicycle hand grips. I got these at Walmart for like $7, and they're fairly ergonomically designed and pretty damn comfortable to hold. They fit nicely in your hand. There's a firm, solid grip, and they kind of squeeze a little bit. The gimbal is mounted with two number 6 machine screws front and back with a 1/2-inch nylon standoff so that the vibration damper isn't rubbing right up against the bottom of that housing here. Inside the housing is the power system. This runs off of a 3S lipo. I believe it's a 1300 milliamp lipo. And that light is just bugging the hell out of me. There we go. I see a little bit of glare on the screen right there. So it's 1300 milliamp 3S lipo, and it's wired in. I would have to pull this apart to charge the battery, but I did want it enclosed in the housing because on the back side we've got the power switch. Coming out of the housing, going down to the gimbal, if you can see that right there, that right there, that's the power going out to the gimbal. And the reason there's a JST plug right here is if I wanted to pull the gimbal off, I won't have to completely disassemble this to unhook the power. So there's a quick coupler right there that I can pull off, and I can pull the gimbal off if I need to do maintenance or anything like that. Well, excuse me. Right here we have a smartphone holder, and this is actually a really nice feature, so that if you're using the Wi-Fi on the GoPro, you can see your shot. So if you hook your smartphone in right here, you can use the GoPro app, and even though there's a couple second latency from the GoPro to the app, you can still have a really good idea of what your shot is. Preferably, I would like to take the video out the side here and go up to like a little 4-inch monitor that has like an HDMI input or something like that, so that I can pull the video from the GoPro into the monitor, and then instead of having to use the app on my phone, I can use the GoPro remote right here. Because I don't know if you've all ever tried to start a GoPro on a gimbal. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And I'll show you real quick right here. So I actually powered up, and it'll go through its initialization sequence. So you can see everything works, but as you try and go and push your buttons here, you usually end up messing with that, and that can't be good for the gimbal. I'm not too sure about that. The last thing on the back, and I'll kind of cover that with my hand there because that's really damn bright. The last thing on the back is this guy right here, and this is actually just a simple servo tester. It's like $7 from Hobby King, and I've got it wired into the gimbal on the pitch control up and down, so that I can control the pitch of the gimbal with this guy right here. And I'll just show you really quickly. And that's all by hitting the dial on that guy right there. What is nice about this servo tester is this little red button right here activates 3 modes. So the mode that it's in right now is the manual mode, and that is strictly controlled by the knob. So let me see if I can get this So you can see the more I tilt that down, the more the camera tilts down. Well, if I have a nice angle that I like right there, but I want to go back up to level, I can hit that button once. Now that's neutral, so that will bring it back up to its neutral position right there. And then if I hit that again, it actually goes into automatic panning all the way down, all the way back up. Since this gimbal does not go up on the pitch, it'll just come up to neutral until the servo tester has gone through the upper, and then it'll come back down, and then it'll pan down again. I'll show you that real quick. So that's the automatic pan down, and then it comes back up. Now the servo tester is actually feeding it input going up, coming back down, and it'll just keep doing that. Well, we don't like that, so all I'll ever run this is the manual or the neutral mode. So like I say, if I find a nice preset angle, say right about there, I can switch back and forth between that, neutral, and we'll just give 2 quick pushes, and we'll go back to that manual mode. There's manual, neutral, manual. Kind of a nice little feature, I guess. I've never, like I said, I've never used one of these really, so I don't know if it'll get much use. But it's something that was kind of cool that I was able to incorporate into it, so that if it is useful, hey, great. If not, hey, we don't have to use it. The last thing about this, so the framework, if somebody wanted to make one of these, is fairly open-ended. You can kind of do whatever you want with it. The only thing that I decided to do is with the roll motor right here, is I wanted to make the top of my hands fairly even with that roll motor, so that as it rotates, my hands, like I say, the top of my hands are in a plane with the roll motor. And you can see the roll motor right here. And you can see that the top of my hands are in this nice even plane with it. I don't know if it makes any difference. I just decided to, that's how I wanted to do it when I built it. This is actually fairly light, and I will grab my scale. So the whole setup clocks in at 2 pounds, 7.7 ounces. Now that's without a smartphone on there, so you can add another few ounces for a smartphone, but you're still looking at clocking in under 3 pounds for a handheld gimbal setup, whereas the 350QX actually clocks in at 2 pounds, 8.6 ounces, something like that. So not really much of a weight difference, and as you can kind of see, this is balanced. Now if I do have a smartphone on here, it is back heavy, but with the way it sits right now, it on a level surface anyway, it balances out fairly nicely. As I put my hand down on here, and the thing probably tip over backwards on me. But like I said, I wanted to make this video to show everybody kind of what I've been up to. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer, go ahead and put them in the comment section down below. I usually get back to comments within 24 hours. If you'd like to see any upgrades or suggest any upgrades, once again, go ahead and leave them down in the comment. I'm always open to suggestions, and I love feedback from y'all. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. Pretty sure that's over there. If not, it's down there. And thank you for watching my videos. I don't have a schedule for making videos, but if there's something that y'all would like to see, shoot me a message. Leave it in the comment below. However you want to do it. Thanks again for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.